very possible for you to function at a high velocity, even while you're in your healing process, because you and your partner will have an understanding and know exactly where each other is at. And that is one of the ways we break down this agenda, this curse on trying to tear up the Black family. Go ahead, sis.
Man, I think, at the end of the day, we talk every week about solutions, and I think therapy is at the top of our list like every week. And I know we keep reiterating it, but it's so important. Like, until you face the trauma, until you're able to process the trauma and get through the trauma, you're dangerous to everybody you come in contact with. Because people who, and this is good that we talked about suppression, because most people know how to suppress. Once they get through the emotional part of what they have gone through, they know how to suppress things. So they know how to put it somewhere and just shut the door on it, and they think that they're functional, because they're functional, that they're okay. But eventually that's going to come out. And that's why you have a lot of issues with friendships. And even in the church, you're dealing with a lot of issues like that, because people haven't dealt with their trauma. They haven't dealt with their unhealthy places. They have just suppressed them. And anything that is suppressed is going to outgrow the space that you put it in. And there will be things that happen in your life that could trigger that trauma. And when that happens, it's an immediate shutdown. It's going to be an immediate disruption in your life. And if you're not the person who is willing to go and get help and get through it, then you keep trying to carry it. You keep trying to suppress it again. You keep trying to act like it's not there. And that's a reason why a lot of marriages break down. It's not the things that they're going through in the marriage, it's the trauma that has been triggered that has come back out. And now they don't want to deal with it. And because they don't want to deal with it, it makes them look at others as if they're the problem, and that there's something wrong with this relationship, or it's just not working. No, you need to go get healed. You need to deal with your trauma, because it's now affecting your family life. It's affecting you and your children. It's affecting you and your spouse. It's affecting you and your friends. It's affecting you and your community. Any kind of interactions you have with people gets challenged when that trauma comes back up. And this is why we have to become healed people. I have personally seen so many people in places of leadership and authority who are traumatized, and they continue to hurt people because they will not get help. And at the end of the day, I'm a minister, she's a minister. We understand that aspect too. And you always want to feel like you're okay. And you will always want to feel like you're being the example. But guess what? Part of being the example is knowing how to deal with things when they go wrong. Because wrong happens in everybody's life. Things go wrong in everybody's life. It is not about what you encounter or when those things wrong. It's about how do you respond when things go wrong. And this is what we have to start talking about. What do you do when stuff goes wrong? What do you do when things go left? What do you do when you fail? What do you do when you mess up? Like, it's the recovery of that that really shows who you are and where you are, your maturity, your growth. And so you have to become the kind of people that understand that, hey, I went through a lot of trauma, and this trauma is affecting me. It's affecting my life. It's affecting how I deal with people. It's affecting how I deal with my family. It's affecting how I deal with my husband or my wife. And you have to be willing to take accountability for that trauma and say, just, man, I never understood. Because sometimes you don't know because you suppressed it. So you thought it was over. But I'm telling you now, anything you have not dealt with and worked through, it's coming back up. For all those people who think, man, I had that breakup, I cried for my little week, and I kept it moving. No, baby, it's coming back up because you have not dealt with it. That is called suppressed trauma. Suppressed trauma is always coming back up. It may not come back up right away. It could be 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, but it's coming back. And you have to be the kind of people who can say, okay, this is affecting me. This is affecting my life. I need to get some help. She gave you 5 ways that you can start to help even on your own. But eventually you're going to have to get counseling. You're going to have to get therapy because you need someone to help you walk through that place in your life. And so that is not a place of shame. That is not a place of inadequacy. That is a healthy way of dealing with things that go wrong in your life. And we have got to become the kind of people that understand that, encourage that, and are okay with that. Because if not, you're going to take yourself through all kinds of craziness just to come back to the same conclusion that we're telling you about right now. You're dealing with trauma. You're dealing with things that have hurt you and devastated you. You don't know how to respond, and now they're affecting every area of your life. You have to get healing. You have to get over it and through it, but you only do that with therapy or counseling. I'm sorry, but you own that is a huge part of it. Now, there's other things you do, but that is the huge part of it because that is somebody helping you who understands it, who understands how to put it where, who understands how to tackle it without causing further damage to you, who and that's important. So until you become that person that's willing to do that, you're going to keep dealing with that trauma and you're going to keep acting like it's okay, but it's not. So again, I know we're kind of at the end of our time today, but I just really want to keep encouraging our people, Black men, Black women, go get some therapy, go get some counseling, because a lot of the things that's happening and going wrong in your life is because you're dealing with trauma, because you're in an unhealthy place. And if you're making decisions in this place and in this time in your life, you're probably not making good decisions. Let's become healthy individuals. Let's become really functional individuals so that we can maintain our families and our community and our culture, and that we will have the strength, the wisdom, the knowledge, understanding, and capability to fight the enemy that we're facing right now. Any closing remarks, sis?
I mean, I just mimic what you said. I mean, we've been 3 weeks on this topic, the agenda. Prior to that, we did trauma. I feel like this is like we've dug. We still have some nooks and crannies that we could have got into, but we went pretty far. And so I'm just hoping that someone is paying attention, someone is listening, even people that we run across on a day-to-day basis that may not have seen our podcast yet. But I know that you and I both are some very positive Black women and that we have a lot to share because of the things that we've gone through.
Yeah.
Time out for the hate. Can I just say that to my sisters?
Oh, that's good.
Time out for the hate. The hate, the hateration,
Yeah.
the competition is disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't hate you. I'm not in competition with you. Enough. You're in competition with the wrong one because we need to be learning from one another. Okay, number one. And number two, if there's not in you don't have any tools that you feel like you can teach, then just chill. You got to be a student before you become a teacher. And I'm just gonna keep it real. Somebody might get mad, but she thinks she know everything. I don't.
Oh, that's real
But,
talk.
but let's just be real. You got to be a student before you become a teacher, sis. Stop trying to be in competition with me. 9 times out of 10, I'm not even noticing. And 10 times out of 10, I'm praying for you because I don't notice. You ought to thank God for that I don't notice. And I'm still praying for you. I'm not your competition. Stop with the hate. Let's just cut that foolishness out. It's tiring.
That's a
And
part
so
of the agenda too, though, sis.
it
Like,
is.
if
It
we
is.
haven't made it clear, when we talk about the agenda, we're talking about the enemy. We're talking about the United States of these Americas, like the world's agenda for Black people is to divide us and destroy us.
That's it.
Now, of course, the Black family is the foundation of our culture. The Black family is the foundation of Black culture. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you something. It's not just the Black family. It's not just the husband, wife, and the children. It's also the relationships you have with the sisters, and sisters, brothers and brothers.
It's
That
the village.
Yes, it's that, they want to break that down. So at the end of the day, this is where this self-hate is coming from. This is where that hateration comes from. That's a part of the agenda. Anytime you see me moving forward in what God has called me to do or the things that I am supposed to do, and you're hating on that or you're competing with that, you're a part of that agenda. And there's something in you that still needs to heal, because you can't have productive female relationships because you're not healed, because you've been done bad, you've experienced hurt and trauma, and you never healed from that. So now you don't even know productive female relationships when God sends them to you, because you're too busy wondering if they're going to be like the last one or looking at them as your competition. The reason why me and my sister's stuff works, because a lot of people try to duplicate what we have, but the reason why this works is
Woo!
because this is years and years and years and years and years of God working with us, not just as sisters, not just as friends, not just as women of God, but as women,
Yes.
to help us both become confident in who we are, understand our strengths, and understand our weaknesses. And guess what? When God linked us, He linked us together because my weaknesses are not her weaknesses. Her weaknesses are not my weaknesses. He
Right.
gave us a balance. And because we were wise enough in God through our experiences and through things we went through, we were able to notice that. We understood why God put us in each other's life. We understood that we balance one another out. She never had to compete with me. I never had to compete with her. It's not in our DNA. It's just
Right.
not who we are. We balanced each other out, because when she needed help with certain areas, she would say, "Sis, you don't have a
Yes.
problem here. I need to know what to do." When I needed help in certain areas, I knew that that was something she didn't have a problem with. I needed to learn from her. And that's the problem. You feel like you can't learn from nobody because you
Yes.
way up here. Sis, God gonna break you down. If you don't sit down, He gonna break you down. But I promise you, that ain't the spirit to have. When you really get your heart right and you really get your trauma, together, and you really start healing, you start to view things very differently. I'm not in competition with no other woman, because I want to help you, because you're a part of my culture. When I look at another Black woman, I see a sister, whether we know each other or not. And I'm gonna tell you something. This brings me to what we was also talking about women who cheat. Let me tell you something.
Woo!
I had this conversation with another woman a few days ago, and you know what she said? She said, one thing I noticed is, she said, Black men, you rarely find a Black man cheating with a married woman, because he understands that that is another man's woman, whether they together or not. If they are still married, he understands that she can never be his, so he not messing with that married woman. But us Black women, oh honey, we look at that as that's some type of prize. Oh, well, you must then do your job because he over here. Boo, he can never be yours. He can never be yours. He belonged to somebody else.
All right.
But here's the thing, it is our hate for one another, it is our disunity, it is our competition for one another that makes you a woman who will accept that. Because I'm going to tell you something, a good woman, a decent woman, you would never, you hear what I'm saying? A Black man who is married to another woman could never approach me.
Never.
He would get his feelings hurt, number one. Number two, that's what I'm saying, because you may not know that woman, and it could be somebody who don't even like me. But I promise you, let your man come over here. I'm gonna send him on his way, because there ain't nothing I can do with a man who already belongs to somebody else. That's what a good woman does. And so at the end of the day, it's the hate that we have for one another. And I mean, we can go into colorism, we can go into all kind of stuff, but Black women, we got to get this together. We done talked about the Black man. We done talked about us a little bit, but I'm telling you, personally speaking, Black women, we gonna have to get this together. When you stop seeing your sister as your competition, when you start seeing that another Black woman is a part of your village, is a part of your bloodline, You will
Woo.
stop being so willing to hurt her. You will stop being so willing to show her up. You will stop being willing to just put her down and make yourself look good. And I'm
Yep.
sorry because I see it in the pulpit and I see it in the street. And it ain't attractive nowhere. If you
Nowhere.
got to put other people down to make yourself look good, baby, something wrong with you. You need to go back and get rid of your trauma and get healed. This is why women can't have relationships. This is why you can't keep no friend, because you're hurt. You're traumatized and you don't want to deal with it. You're suppressing it instead of getting healed. Let's get some therapy. Let's
I
become
have nothing to say behind that.
let's become better. Let's
Yep.
become better. Because I'm telling you, we got to do better. We got to do better. I told somebody, I said, if we go into, making our own little villages to protect one another, certain people can't come to our village because
Oh Lord, you
you a snitch
oh,
and you a hater. You gonna sell us
oh,
out to preserve
oh
yourself.
Lord. Yeah.
You gonna sell us out to preserve yourself. But I'm so serious about that. You got
I know
people
you
out
are.
here will throw you under the bus to preserve themselves. But see, that's the beauty of our culture and our people. Is we will lay ourselves on the line for the collective good. And if you ain't got that, it's because you're still dealing with trauma, still dealing with hurt. And so you're thinking about you because nobody else thought about you. All those people who hurt you didn't think about your feelings. They didn't think about what you went through. And when you don't heal from that, that becomes your mindset. Where you think the house nigga came from?
Woo!
I'm gonna leave it there because we can get all the way into a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But that's my closing remarks. Let's heal, let's unify, let's become better, let's protect the Black family, and let's stand up and do what we gotta do because we gotta protect ourselves. And guess what? If we don't protect ourselves, ain't nobody else gonna protect us.
Nobody. That's it.
And I'm gonna
I
sip my
mean,
lemonade
I
on it.
don't I don't have anything to say. I mean, she said it all. I'm tired of seeing it, me personally.
It's
I'm
hurtful.
sick of it.
It's
I'm
hurtful.
sick of it.
All
So
right, y'all. Thanks for watching today's broadcast, episode 13, Sister Conversations in Black. We want to give a shout out to our community partners, Black Wall Street, Minnesota. Shout out to y'all, Candy Girls at Maplewood Mall. Shout out to y'all. We recently discovered another Black-owned business in Maplewood Mall called Occasion Life. Y'all go check
Cajun
them
Fire.
out. Yeah, what is it?
Cajun Fire.
Cajun Fire. Okay. Y'all definitely check them out, support them, be patient with your Black businesses. Okay. I know how
Yeah.
it be sometimes, but be patient. Food was good though, slamming. Facts. All
Woo.
right. And shout out to Kayla Girls and shout out to
Yes.
Young Phenom.
Yes.
I'm just super excited. God bless y'all. Make sure y'all hit that website, www.mysisterandme.com. Order y'all some merch. Boss putting in work.
Yes.
Order y'all some merch. Pre-order the book that's coming out. We're shooting for
It is. It's coming, y'all.
it's coming out.
Listen, it's gonna be good.
For
It's
real.
gonna be good.
I promise you, it's gonna be. Oh my God! Get the book. Pre-order the book. And we got some things coming and we got some stuff in the works. So y'all just keep a lookout. We about to do some big stuff. Hopefully we'll see you there because you done got over
And don't hate.
stuff.
Don't hate. Don't hate. Just come on.
Yeah, just
Ain't nobody mad.
facts,
I ain't mad at you. I knew you was hating. Still, come on. Come on.
And at the end of the day, we hope that this really encourages healthy dialogues. Me and my sister don't always agree, and as y'all can see, but we figure that out. You know what I mean? Like she listens to me, I listen to her. We gather information from each other, and we, make decisions based upon that. But there's never any love lost, even when we
Right.
disagree. There's never any love lost between us, and there shouldn't be any love lost between you when you disagree with somebody. Learn how to disagree and process and either accept or reject and move forward, because that's really what it looks like to gain an understanding. So God bless y'all. Have a great Sunday. Amen. The first Sunday of May. May is about to be beautiful.
Hey,
I'm
birthday this
excited.
month.
I'm
Birthday
excited.
this month.
May is about to bring some beautiful things. I really believe that, and I am all here for it. Boom.
A queen was birthed. A queen was birthed this month. I'm just saying.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was. And I'm looking
Okay.
to coming and celebrating my niece's graduation. So as y'all see, my sister and me will get on the plane. Okay, we be getting on planes, so we're gonna try to let y'all in on some of our adventures. You know what I'm saying? But we hopping planes. We catching flights this year.
Come again. Say what?
We've been catching quite a few flights already, but
Yep.
we ain't nowhere near done, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Ain't that time?
So facts. So catch us on our next adventure. But we'll be back next week for episode 14. Follow our social media, like and subscribe our YouTube page because as y'all know, the video will be up for a little bit, but then it's going straight to YouTube. All right. So God bless you. Have a good one. Thanks for watching Sister Conversations in Black. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Sissy.